Here is a video on how to write the ACT essay. So the first thing is, how does it work? Okay, the ACT gives you 3 different perspectives about a topic, and we'll look at what the ACT prompt will look like in a moment. Okay, in your essay, you'll discuss multiple perspectives and include your own opinion. Now, how does your opinion engage with the other perspectives? So the way to go about this is to think more about this essay that you write. Think of it like a discussion. So you'll be interacting and considering the pros and cons of other perspectives about a topic. And then most importantly, you'll weigh in and make it very clear what your perspective is about the issue. The essay is handwritten, and you'll have 40 minutes to organize and complete the essay. So, goals: make your own opinion and voice clear while discussing the topic presented by the essay prompt. Create one clear position of your own instead of 3 statements of agreement or disagreement. In other words, don't keep it superficial. You want to dig deep and really analyze what is strong and weak about the other perspectives while accomplishing the goal of supporting your perspective and making it clear what you think about the topic. So when you create your thesis, make sure that it is insightful and has enough depth that you can write a whole 5-paragraph essay about it. So let's talk about scoring. There will be 2 graders reading the essay. Each of them will give you a minimum of 1 point up to 6 points each. So the 2 scores are added together to give you a final score between 2 and 12 points. There'll be 4 categories that the graders will give you, the graders will grade you on. So for ideas and analysis, they'll give you up to 6 points each, so with a total of 12 points possible on ideas and analysis, 12 points possible on development support, 12 points possible with organization, and 12 points possible with language use. Finally, they'll take the score total for each category, add them up, and divide by 4, so your final essay score will be an average of the 4 individual scores on these categories. So your essay score on the ACT will end up being 1 cumulative score that's between 2 and 12 points. Okay, let's get into what the essay prompt looks like. So here's a sample prompt, intelligent machines. We'll talk a little bit about the anatomy of the essay prompt before we actually jump in and start reading it. So the ACT will give this essay prompt to you on the official exam day, and it will introduce a topic. Then it will give you 3 perspectives about that topic, and then it will give you an essay task here. It tells you what is important to do when you write your essay. Write a unified, coherent essay about the increasing presence of intelligent machines. In your essay, be sure to clearly state your own perspective, analyze the relationship between your perspective and at least one other perspective, develop and support your ideas with reasoning and examples, organize your ideas clearly and logically, and communicate effectively in standard written English. Okay, you can be in full agreement with the perspectives given, in partial agreement, or completely different. Now, the most important thing about this is to follow these bullet points. Yes, you are writing an essay that talks about whether you agree or disagree, but you want to make sure that you want to dig deep. And really, the way that you do that is by providing good examples and specific examples in order to really be able to create an interesting discussion about this topic. Okay, they give you some scratch paper so that you can brainstorm, and I'll show you a brainstorming trick that helps to really organize your thoughts before you jump in and write the essay. Use the space below to generate ideas and plan your essay. You may wish to consider the following as you think critically about the task. Strengths and weaknesses of different perspectives on the issue. Okay, what insight do they offer and what do they fail to consider? Why might this be persuasive to others, or why might it fail to persuade? And then include, okay, this is a special part of the ACT essay, which is that you can include your own knowledge, experience, and values in order to support your point. What is your perspective on the issue? And yeah, you can talk about, what are the strengths and weaknesses about your perspective, and how will you support your perspective in the essay? So let's get into brainstorming. Okay, we'll go back here. Actually, before we go into brainstorming, let's talk about the format. The ACT essay is going to be in a familiar 5-paragraph format. Introduction, which presents your thesis, which is your perspective on the issue. And then each body paragraph will be a discussion on different angles on the issue, which means it could be 3 perspectives. It's always nice to actually talk about all 3, as long as you talk in depth about each one. And finally, a conclusion, which is just a quick summary of your main argument. Now, if as you're writing the essay, since you only have 40 minutes, let's suppose you get through the intro, body paragraph 1, and body paragraph 2, but then you see the time running out. Make sure you skip down, leave a few lines for yourself, and jot down what your conclusion is, because it's important for your essay to have the conclusion, more important than it is to have the 3 body paragraphs and no conclusion. So just make sure you have that conclusion, and then you can go back to writing your remaining body paragraphs. So that's the main layout. Now we can talk about brainstorming to help us figure out how we're going to organize our essay, and also the brainstorming will help us organize the essay and also help us figure out what exactly we're going to talk about, which of course can be challenging in a time test. Okay, let's start with the essay prompt, because we want to read the essay prompt and then take some notes on each of the perspectives.